Hello and welcome back. Today we're playing one of my favorite games ever, Kerbal Space Program. Just downloaded the mod a couple of days ago, and not mod, the latest update 0.22, which adds a career mode, which is basically, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. Because at last you have some progression, some goals other than just flying somewhere randomly. And you also have to earn stuff. You still don't buy them with money, but you need research points to unlock new things. And we start off with this very basic technology, as you can see here. And we need 5 science points to unlock these things. And so what we need to do is we build a basic rocket and we launch it into the sky, and hopefully we'll get some, you know, information on how rockets work generally, and we can then make some better ones. We don't even have decouplers to start with, but this will be interesting. So let's head on to the assembly building then. And we're here. And let's start building our first rocket. First of all, of course, we need our command pod, which will probably house our brave Mr. Jiggly Kerbal. Let's see. As you can see, you can now select your crew. They are also tracked, so if Jiggly dies, Jiggly dies, and we don't want that to happen. So yeah, Jiggly will be in charge of this flight. Now we'll just we don't want to even use this yet. To research materials, we don't want to load them into this very experimental rocket we're about to build. We'll pop down the parachute up there. Now, there's a certain limit to how effective a parachute can be, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to do a very large rocket. Since, as you can see from the structural, we don't have any decouplers, which means that whatever we launch up, we're gonna have to land as well. And a single parachute won't cut it for a big spacecraft. But we'll build a small rocket then. Let's see the liquid engine there, and I think we'll risk it and try and bolt some solid fuel boosters to the sides, but we'll also put some parachutes on these as well for some extra safety. Oh, I'm gonna mount them kind of radially if possible. A bit dodgy. That's fine. I think that would be good. Yes, central. And then we'll put in our Mark 1 parachutes. Yeah, this is not the greatest spaceship ever built regarding pretty much everything. It's hard to control, hard to get anywhere. Now we'll need to sequence this all. We'll want to fire all these engines at once. And after that, the parachutes fire, and hopefully we won't crash horribly when we land. Now all that is left, we need to name this. I think, what should we call it? Let's call it... Nah. What should we call it? Little Babby Mark 1. That will do. Very first rocket. And let's launch. For some reason, every new version causes some performance drops. I have a pretty spiffy computer, even so, shouldn't be about that. So here is our beautiful rocket, precariously balanced there. We'll auto quick save, and then we're ready to launch. Put on SAS, which will drain electricity as of the last patch before this one. So let's see, kind of spinning wildly since we have no fins or anything. We're picking up speed. I think this will certainly enlighten our scientists a bit about how rocket building works. Not a huge success, and our SAS has trouble functioning since we don't have any actuators. We only have the what do you call them? Well, the inbuilt torque pliers, if you can, let's call it that. How far did we get? So yeah, without staging, as you can see, we need to haul everything up here, and it's not very efficient. Are we still heading up? Yeah, we'll be landing in the ocean. Just admire the view, maybe go into intravehicular activity. We can only see this small little window and the emptiness of space. Press C to get back into this view. I actually once lost a flight because I couldn't figure out how to get out of the EVA view. So yeah, I think we can throttle down and quick save again. Oh yes, we are in atmosphere, we can't. Let's just face the direction we're heading into, or rather the opposite of it, so we're headed down. Straight down, and once we're low enough we'll start deploying our parachutes, and I think the appropriate time is when we're closer to 200 meters per second, so our parachutes won't rip off from the spacecraft. Yeah, we're in lower orbit already. You can see the space station there, and we were supposed to land in the ocean, but I think maybe the fact that this isn't very aerodynamic changed that course. So we'll start deploying now. Hopefully we'll slow down enough. I think if you get into under 10 meters per second when the parachutes fully deploy, then you're good to go. You usually don't crash very much, at least if you come down with the engines or something down, which is usually the case. We may lose some of these parts, but that's fine. They didn't cost us anything. But the pod should remain intact even if we go in, you know, at a relatively high velocity, like 9 or 10. We got into 7, which means that we probably won't even lose anything, so the spacecraft will remain intact. Jiggly is looking content. Parachutes clipping through each other. I think the space center can be seen there. And once we land, we can quickly just recover this flight since it's landed, and we'll get the science points. Alright, let's speed things up a bit. I think we're touching down now. Yes, Little Babby was a success. Didn't get very far, but we learned a lot of stuff. For instance, that we need decouplers, and hopefully our scientists will be able to figure that out from the data. So let's just resume flight, and I think the appropriate button is somewhere here. Yes, here, recover vessel. So you don't have to go back to the space center even anymore, which is really good. Saves a lot of time and fiddling. Recover vessel. It's loading. Right, science summary for Little Babby Mark 1. One experiment recovered. Recovery of a vessel that survived a flight. That's a pretty important thing to have. Right. One piece of data. Its value is 5.0 and plus 5 science from that. Done. Which means that we have just enough science points to unlock this basic rocketry. How can hard rocket science be here? How hard can rocket science be anyway? So we'll get some fuel tanks, a research item, that's good, a goo containment unit, basically some sort of jelly in a container which no one knows what this is, but pretty fun to fly around with, and our first decoupler, which is pretty much the most important part from this. Research. Right, let's see what we can unlock next. General rocketry, more engines, more fuel, more ambitious ideas for 20 science. Stability, reaching for the stars starts with keeping our spacecraft pointed generally in the right direction. I think we'll be heading for this next, since it adds some winglets, a radial decoupler, really good, and a aerodynamic nose cone, which nowadays also does something. And you can also see this sort of... I wonder what these are. Maybe you could... Probably in the future you can buy stuff like this. And survivability, the art and science of landing and walking away from it. So we'll probably take this one first, then this one, and then this one. I think that's the plan here. Good plan. So let's prepare for our next flight then. Head back into the assembly building. Little Babby has served us well, but we'll need a new rocket now. You can also nowadays save parts into this sub-assemblies, so you can build a lander and then just plop it into any old spacecraft you build, instead of having to recreate it from scratch. That's again really good. It's just a lot of pointless stuff, pointless wasting of time. So first of all, we'll add a decoupler to our command pod, plop in a parachute. So that's pretty much all the parachutes we'll need for this then, since we can just, in the final stage, we can just decouple this pod and land with it. Next we'll add in some fuel tanks for liquid fuel. Yes. Should we go for... No, we should probably. Let's plug it down. So now our goal is to get into space and possibly experiment with the Jiggly Goo we found. In fact, we'll plop in another one of these and beef things up with some radial mounted engines. think we'll use solid fuel boosters. So I think they are relatively lightweight. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's add a stack of decouplers and another solid fuel booster, right? And so once these burn out, we can launch these upper ones, and we'll also drop this dead weight. So yeah, we're hoping to get into space and research some stuff. So let's grab these mystery goo containers, plug them down like this, so we can experiment with the jelly. And let's plop in our antennas so we can, if we want, we can transmit the research results back to Kerbal, which is also pretty good. And yeah, I think that's this design done with. So we'll just sequence it again. Yep, that's fine. That's actually, we could probably put it in there, so in an emergency we immediately deploy our parachutes. Or actually, if we re-enter the atmosphere, we probably don't want that, so let's put that back there. And so we want to fire these simultaneously in the beginning. Then we want to decouple these and simultaneously fire these rockets, and then the final stage commences. That is fine. Now we need to name this. What should we call it? Maybe something that looks like. No. Quite like the music, relaxing. What should we call it? Let's call it Flint Mark 1. I've been playing Borderlands recently again. Played with the Necromancer class, so I just killed Flint, so that was in my mind at this point in time. So there's a little explanation for that name. Let's launch. It's very snowy up here now. Up here in the north. Won't tell you where in the north, although you could probably find that out. Just snowed during the night, and the trees and all are covered in snow, and it's pretty cold outside, so the winter is definitely coming. Everything okay? Yeah, Jebediah is ready to go. He's pumped for this. Let's quick save, just in case. We're pretty sure that something goes wrong. First of all, let's experiment with the mystery goo now. The goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now, right? Let's keep that data. And let's close that. Oh, I think we actually need to keep that. Yeah, we need to keep that open. Keep data, and then we'll put our SAS on, power up the rockets, and let's launch. 1, 2, 3, sayonara, Jebediah. And started spinning. Really need those fins. Actually be able to orbit anything. Oh fuck, we didn't bolt us in the engine. Yeah, let's revert the flight. Revert to vehicle assembly. That is a big... Oh, we do have it. So... what's the problem? No idea. Strange. Could be that it was colliding with the ground or something. Should be fixed now. Take 2. I won't cut it actually. Good to have some sort of fails in. Loading again. Snow outside. Good times. So yeah. Retry. Let's research again. Observe Mystery Goo. The goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. Right, so let's keep that data. Plop SAS on. Quick save. Power up the engines. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Launch. Try and put a little twist into our motion. Yeah, we're pretty high up now. So I think the transmission thing lowers the scientific value of the data, so probably want to keep that. Actually, that's what it says. Keep data, right? So we run out of fuel now. Pretty much put the SAS off. Let's see our EVA view then. Beautiful starry sky, space actually, not sky. You can see the orbit map, all the shit flying about, floating about actually. We're heading pretty far away, as you can see. Should be worth some. We could have actually orbited if we had proper control of this craft, I think. So the design is pretty good. We're in outer space now, so we should probably observe the Mystery Goo again. The goo seems to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. Alright. Scientific value 10. Let's keep that data. we're in low gravity, not 0 G, because there isn't actually 0 G, but in very low gravity, so the goo is responding accordingly. Should we go EVA? I'm not sure. We'll definitely quick save because I wanna keep this flight. But if we exit, I think we should at least remain in at the same speed as the spacecraft. So let's try EVA. Should be worth something, or at the very least, you know, really cool experience. Yeah. Activate our jetpacks with R. We're definitely traveling at the same speed as you would suppose. And we can check our ship out more closely. Not the prettiest of things, but it gets the job done. Wonder if this is worth some research points. Hopefully it is. Let's try and get back inside after this successful spacewalk. Oh. Grab and board. We're back inside. All is well. Save after that. I think we'll definitely get some points out of that. Do we have anything in? The goo feels right at home here. Observation while in high space, high over Kerbal. Alright, so it's definitely extraterrestrial then. No, not definitely. But something, I guess space related. They said they didn't know what it was and found it in a canister, so maybe it's something alien. So that would make it extra Kerbalan, since this is Kerbal, not let's keep that data. We'll only send it if we're about to fail this mission, I guess. Since this is Kerbal, not Earth, as you may know. Let's speed things up a bit, so we don't... Little warp there. That's fine. Look at the sky again. Looks nice. And let's wait for the re-entry then. This data if we we're actually gonna try this. Gonna transmit. Oh fuck, we don't have enough electric charge. That's fine. Yes, tee off. Attach. Yeah, the transmission took out a lot of electricity. We couldn't do it. Hopefully we didn't lose the research value there. Let's deploy our parachutes. Meow. Came in pretty hot. Start wobbling. Yeah, let's speed things up a bit. This is a mountainous area, so we're gonna hit the ground pretty soon. We don't want to go in too fast. And let's see if we lost the research data there. Hopefully we didn't. brakes maybe. Quick saving, and let's recover our vessel and see what the results are. Yeah, no. So we definitely need that goo to be on the ship itself. And let's see our clock then. I think it's time to call it there. Next episode we'll do some actual good use of that goo canister, and we'll get somewhere, unlock more technology, and okay, and all sorts of good stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, do check out the other ones. Maybe leave a like, maybe favorite, maybe even subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.